Hey guys, and welcome back to Motorsport Madness, and I have a little bit of a different video for you today. So a lot of you have been looking forward to episode 3 and 4 of F1's most horrific crashes, which, if you didn't know, is a documentary series that I make, and a lot of you have enjoyed it. A few million of you actually, and with that I really appreciate your patience in regards to when those will actually come out, and so have I've had to be patient. I really want to see them completed just as much as you do, but obviously it's a lot of work. Even as I sit here, I am staring at it and I can see how it already is and how much more work I've still got to do. Now, the reason for this video is I want to basically to inform you that the release plan has kind of changed, purely because of the current workload that I've still got to do, and quite honestly I don't want to wait any longer. So originally the plan was that episode 3 and 4 would release at a similar time. So episode 3 would release, and then 2 weeks or 3 weeks later episode 4 will release, and that would basically mean me having to work on both episode 3 and 4 simultaneously. Not quite simultaneously, but in a way where I'll do episode 3 and then that will be put on to one side, and then episode 4 will be worked on, and then they'll be both released to you. And at the time that sounded like a pretty good idea, so then when episode 3 eventually comes to you, then you wouldn't have to wait too long for episode 4. But times have now changed. Don't worry, you aren't getting the 2 episodes. That's definitely happening. Let's just clear that out of the way. But episode 3 will now be releasing as soon as it's finished. So in a few weeks time, when episode 3 is complete, you will get it. So there'll be no waiting around for episode 4 to be finished. No. So you're going to get it straight away. And the reason for this is, like I mentioned at the beginning, you guys have waited a seriously long time for these 2 episodes, and I hope you're looking forward to them, because I'm putting in a stupid amount of effort, probably more effort than what I should be, but I've taken your feedback from episode 1 and episode 2 and sort of put them into these next 2 episodes. So I really am glad to see so many of you looking forward to it in the comments, especially when I released the teaser trailer for these 2 episodes. I was really happy to see the amount of positive feedback, or sort of positive hype around these 2 episodes, and the amount of views it has is about 11,000, which is more than what I thought it would get. But anyway, and I, like I said, really appreciate your patience, and I don't want you to wait any longer, because with the original plan you wouldn't have seen episode 3 and 4 probably until maybe August or September time, which is a long way away, and just as much as you, I also want to see this, because everything that's in my head when I'm creating these videos slowly but surely start to form when I'm making these videos, as you can understand. So for me, I want to see the finished product. I want to sit down and watch it, but the difference is I've got to make it. So and like I said, there's a lot of work to do, but the difference this time is that work has been done on episode 4. The narrations have been complete. The special guest has also done his, so they are there ready to go. They've also been trimmed, so all the outtakes and everything else have all been cut away. So everything that's on episode 4 already now is ready to go for all the footage to come in and start building it from there. Because that's how it works for me. I do the narrations, and that's basically the backbone for the entire project. And as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm literally taking a break from doing that exact same thing for one particular segment. But also another reason is that I worry that you guys would have waited so long for these 2 episodes, that I worry that I would start panicking after a certain amount of time, and I'll start rushing, and I don't want to rush whatsoever, because when you rush you start making mistakes, and it wouldn't be, I know me very well, it wouldn't be a great product for you to watch. So that's the two main reasons why you're gonna get episode 3 early, essentially, which is a good thing. So this ain't a bad video. It might have seemed like a bad video from the title, but don't worry. So the main reason why this video is existing is basically just to tell you that episode 3 will be coming a lot earlier than initially planned. Do I have a time frame on that? Not really, but if I look at it now, as I am just saying, I'm looking at it, probably the aim is mid-June. So yeah, about a month's time, or just under a month's time, it should be ready if I could just get my head down and finish it. And it's difficult because obviously I don't know if many of you are aware, but I do work full time, and I do have other hobbies and other things that keep me in, that keep me going on the weekends. Like this weekend, for example, I'm at a wedding one day, and then I'm at Brands Hatch the next. So it's like just gonna be busy the entire time, which leaves me barely any time to edit. And then on a Monday, I'll be editing said photos from Brands Hatch, so follow me on Instagram if you want to see those, or Flickr, whichever one floats your boat. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. I do not do this full time. I wish I could, but right now I don't. And so a lot of you might be thinking, well, Jack, you know, the gap between episode 1 and episode 2 was quite big. I think it was something 3 months between episode 1 and episode 2, but the difference there was that work on episode 2 hadn't started when episode 1 was released. The only thing that was done was the script writing, and after episode 1 was released, I took 2 weeks away from editing just to sort of recover my batteries, and but then I got distracted by how popular that episode suddenly became, and eventually it was like 5 weeks before I eventually turned to episode 2. I think in total that took 8 weeks to complete, and that's why it took 3 months. But the difference here is that once episode 3 is finished, then work will immediately turn to episode 4, which has already started, like I said. But also talking about episode 4, that may be split into 2 parts, purely because of length. As it stands right now, with just the narrations, without the footage and everything else, it currently stands at 1 hour 50 minutes. So it's quite a long video, but there's reasons why. Because of all the stories and everything that's included in there, it's going to be emotional. And as I was writing it, I was thinking to myself, oh god, this is going to be some episode. I mean, episode 3, whilst it doesn't deal with fatal accidents, it still has some sad endings, including the segment which I'm editing now. I'm looking at the face of the driver involved, and I'm just thinking, whilst yes, the story is kind of nice, but the ending is really, really sad. So expect pretty much what you've already seen, but kind of different, if that makes any sense. More in depth, more story driven, if you see what I mean. I have no idea what I'm saying most of the time, so you tell me. It's been a lot of work so far. I mean, the script writing took a very long time, 32,000 words in the end, for the 2 episodes. So it's been a long journey, and I want to make sure it's worth the wait as much as I can, and that's why I've taken this decision to sort of release episode 3 a lot earlier on its own, rather than wait for episode 4 to be complete. So I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, so I'm going to take my time to get episode 3 done, not worry about episode 4, get episode 3 done, released, and you can enjoy it. And whilst you're enjoying it, I'll be already working to finish episode 4, and then hopefully episode 4 maybe late July, early August. That's my current prediction, based on how much I've been working on it so far this week and the last week. And like I've said to a few of you, you will see another trailer, and now there'll be 2 trailers, which will announce the date that they will be going live and the time, because they'll be going on a live premiere. And that pretty much covers this video. So I hope you guys like this bit of news that you are going to get episode 3 a lot earlier than planned, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the end product. Like I said, I'm currently working on it. I'm literally taking a break from editing to record this video. I hope you like the new background. By the way, I recently moved my flat around a little bit, so this is going to be the new camera position for now, unless I find something a little bit better. But it's a little bit more going on than the last one, where it was just a bare wall. But you've got a Lotus 79 there, so you've got something in the background to look at. Also, now you can support me on Patreon, and by doing so you will help the channel grow into however big it may become. I do not know, but it really helps me out if you go on there and join as a member. And by doing so, you'll be the first to know of news updates and more in-depth news updates as well, which aren't normally shared. For example, on there right now, if you're a paid member, of course, you can see every driver that's going to be featured in episode 3 and 4. And also, you can see a 4-minute sneak preview of episode 3, which is a completed segment, although the polishing hasn't been done yet, so it's a little bit rough around the edges. But again, you've got 4 minutes of episode 3 you can now watch on Patreon. So if you want to, go ahead and subscribe, join, whatever you do on there. I do not know, but yeah, go ahead and support me on there, and you'll be very much it'd be very much appreciated. And on there you'll be able to see what you get in return as well. So thank you in advance if you're going to consider doing that. And like I say quite often, thank you so much for your continued support and your patience. And trust me, your patience will be rewarded, and I want to make sure it is in the right way and you enjoy every minute of this video, because you deserve it. It's you lot that keep me going, really, on this channel. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for your support, and the next video you'll see of me will probably be the announcement trailer for episode 3 and its release date. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.
I had passion for motor racing, and it's my business. Cannot be more happy.
Regazzoni came round, hit my car, and the whole lot burst into flames, and we disappeared off to the edge of the track, all in flames.
I hear people say when you're having big accidents, life flashes before you. It does. I had millisecond images of family and things before I hit the barrier.
I perhaps feel sadder at this moment than I've ever done before any race. He was a truly great driver.